how's it going, everybody? It's Jason with RTV Incorporated at RealTourVision.com. Hey, listen up, I am making a very important video today because you may have heard, if you use services like Constant Contact, Aweber, or MailChimp, or other, Google's making some real serious changes, and we want you to stay ahead of it. First and foremost, kicking off this video, those of you that are already using, and when I say email settings, I'm talking about the emails that the system sends, settings and emails right here, your delivery emails, your delivery site, your photo emails, all of that. If you are doing all of that through the Tour Mail server, you can completely disregard this video. So if you go back here and you're using Tour Mail server and you're not using a custom domain, then you can completely disregard this video, because this video only applies to those of you that are using custom domain, and you have to authorize your domain now. So Google making some changes. They are looking for DNS records, and that means logging into your DNS host provider and just adding some records, which we're going to show you how to do. I am joined on this this video today by Chad, Jake, and Eric. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey.
All right. Well, thanks for your help, because I can't do this without you guys. That does get a little bit complicated, and if you if you don't do this, there's a good chance your emails are not going to get in the inbox. And so we have programmed a really nice tool back in the RTV system that is going to help you, walk you through the steps. Google's and Yahoo are making these changes. I think Apple's going to be right behind, and a lot of other email providers, because this really puts a lot of spammers. It stops the spammers in their tracks, and that's really what we want. That's great. So that's what we want to see. So in order to get yourself in compliance, you're going to go into your email settings area, which is settings and then emails. And again, if you're using the Tour Mail server for anything at all, any of your deliverables, that's fine. The Tour Mail server, Eric, I think we've been using that since 2015 or 2014. It's a really great domain. It is private labeled, and we've done all the updates on it. So if you're using that, when people hit reply, it does go back to the email that you have on your company profile. Which is right here. So when they hit reply, but it's from, it shows up as from info.bluelavamedia.com at Tour Mail server. So that's just RTV sending the email in kind of a quasi private labeled fashion, I would call that. But it's very dependable, and it's worked for years. It's got a 97% reputation, which is huge. And so that's obviously the easiest thing. And if you're using that, you don't have anything to worry about. Your emails will get in the inbox and delivered. So let's talk about what to do if you're using a private labeled email like I am at Blue Lava Media. So a private labeled email means that you're sending from your domain. It's important to note, Eric, this will not work. Is that correct if you're using like a Yahoo email or Hotmail or Gmail?
That's correct. We can't add DNS records to other companies' domains.
Right. So the key here is if you have to have your own domain, which means you went to HostGator, GoDaddy, Register.com, Namecheap, and you bought a domain name. Okay. Once you have that domain name, you can go in and you can modify your DNS records. So over here is Blue Lava Media, logged into GoDaddy, and then you can click the DNS button. So it's important to note here, folks, that if you, for example, went and got a domain at GoDaddy, but then you use G Suite for your email, and Eric, correct me if I'm not explaining this the right way, but in that case, G Suite or other would be hosting your DNS. Is that the right way to say it?
Correct. So if you have a domain's name servers pointing to another company, that company is the one that manages your DNS.
So what you're going to want to do to get this set up, there are six records that we're going to have you set up. The policies that Google and Yahoo are requiring, they're actually looking for 4 records, and these are DKIM, DMARC records, we're actually going to have you put in 6 records, and we're going to add 2 extra. And the extra 2, one of them is they're both DNS records, so you're going to add them all in the same spot. But the final 2 are for SPF alignment. And Eric, what's our reasoning for doing that? Just going the extra mile, making it future-proof, so to speak.
Well, with the SPF alignment, DMARC, and DKIM, you reach the maximum deliverability in most cases for your emails. And if you actually are a bulk user, who send more than 5,000 emails, Google actually makes it a requirement, and so does Yahoo.
Right. There's probably very few customers out there that would hit this limit, the 5,000 or more a day. But when your traffic reports go out, that's definitely going to, like Blue Lava probably does send maybe a few thousand. So we're definitely up there. So anyway, that being said, let's get started and kind of show the panel back here. When you first get back here, Eric, do you want to explain how this works and what we're seeing here?
All right. Well, it lists all the emails that you've added, the domain verification status with AWS, our email provider, and then the email verification status, whether or not you verified with us, the email, if you click the I authorize RTP to send emails on my behalf. And then we have the records found. So we added the ability to where we detect the records for you. And so that way it makes it easier for you to identify records that are missing. Okay.
So it looks like I'm missing these 2 red ones here. We're going to go ahead and go right into, I'm just going to put these right on my clipboard and go into DNS management and add a new record. So we're going to add, and you can see we've got CNAME, MX, TXT records, and RTV is going to tell you what kind of record you need to add. So if it's a TXT, a CNAME, an MX, or TXT. So I'm going to do this one. This is an MX. And I did quite a few of these before the show. Definitely going to need your help with this a little bit, Eric, but I'm going to paste that in there. When you're doing this, folks, make sure that there are no extra spaces at the front or back of your paste. So host is the same as name, right? And then you have value. So name or host, I think, are synonymous with each other. What is this?
Take that 10 from take the 10 from the value and put it inside of priority.
Right there? Or remove it?
Just go ahead and delete it from there, yep.
Okay, so
some will have you put them on the same box, some will not.
Okay, so this is actually a value. So repeating what Eric said, sometimes if it has a priority and it's going to be over here, you're going to want to move it over. And then that can stay the same. And then I can add another record here. I can keep adding records until I'm all done. So I'm going to add the next one. This one's a TXT record. TXT record. It's important to note too, let me see here, that, and we'll take one from the beginning. We're just showing you one that was halfway done. So this is perfect. I'm checking for extra spaces. There are none at the fronts or back. So when you save your records, a lot of companies are going to make sure that if you have 2-factor authentication on, you're going to have to verify. Okay. Also, something to mention, folks, when you are doing these, you can just leave the default, whatever the TTL, leave that as the default. So it's important for you to know that you don't have to mess around with that at all. Now, Eric, I've done that. I can go back and I can check by just refreshing the page. Is that correct?
Yes, but I'm not going to promise your DNS updates that fast.
Okay. Okay, now, Eric, approximately how long can we expect? Because when I came here, I saw Blue Lava Media had 4 out of 6. And those of you that are looking to get an email with a perfect score, you're going to try to strive for that 6. just to be clear, folks, just to be clear, the 4 out of 6 complies with everything that Google is asking for as of February. So you don't, but again, why not go for 6 out of 6 and get it absolutely perfect, so you just never have to worry about it. So about how long does that take, Eric, those records we just put in?
So new records are usually pretty quick, within an hour or two.
Okay.
But they can take, a couple days sometimes.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. So now let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about having one email or multiple emails, and then we're going to touch more on Tour Mail Server, because you'll see down here, account to send emails from. Okay. Now this is the account that I want all of my order emails to come from, all of my payments, all of my delivery sites, and here are your photos, all of that stuff I want to come from. This is the email it's going to use. The account to send bulk emails from, so this is just for traffic reports. So traffic reports, I'm highly recommending, folks, that you have a separate email for your traffic reports. The reason is, if an agent clicks, we do have one click unsubscribe now. So if you read this whole thing, you'll see that that is required. That is all set. People can one-click unsubscribe from traffic reports now, which is great. But if an agent marks you as spam, and we know that they do that, that's going to hurt this email. That's going to hurt the credibility up here. And you don't want that, as I highly recommend that you have a separate email. And so what I'm going to do, at Blue Lava Media, we've always used Tour Mail Server. But if you want to do a white labeled email, I'm going to show you how to do that now. And so I'm going to set up one right from scratch. So we're going to do, for those of you that have been doing Tour Mail Server and want to do a white labeled email all the way from the ground up, I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to click Add, and I'm going to do reports at bluelavamedia.com. Folks, it's important, then you click Authorize. It's important to note here that you don't have to have a separate box set up for, oh, look and one of mine already got done. And because I already have the records, am I right, Eric, that because I already had the records here on this domain, it already picked those up?
That's correct.
Oh, cool. So I don't have to do it for each email. That's neat. So I'm going to show you an email here. The first thing that's going to happen when you add a new email, like reports, like I just did, you're going to see this resend email. The very first thing is you have to authorize the email. We have to prove that you have access to that email. You don't have to have a separate mailbox. You don't have to pay an extra monthly fee. This can be an alias. This can be something as simple as a forward. Is that right, Eric? It can be any kind of free email. So when you're setting it up, you don't need to pay for a new email. Is that right? As long as it receives it?
Yep. The main thing is you need to be able to receive an email. That's it.
Okay,
so
that's great.
If you read it in a different account, that's fine.
Okay. Well, let's go look at that email. All right, folks, here's the email that I received, and I forwarded it from Blue Lava over to my RTV account so I could pull it up in this video for you. First thing you'll notice is that the email went to info@bluelavamedia.com, and that's because back in Microsoft Exchange, where I have my email set up, those of you that use GoDaddy got pushed over to Exchange here last year. I'm able to go into my Microsoft Exchange, or you can just call GoDaddy or whoever's doing your email and just say, I want to set up an alias. So I went to info@bluelavamedia.com, which is a group box, and I just added an alias, reports, to it, and I hit save. And that means now anything that goes to reports@bluelavamedia.com will just get forwarded right to info@. So it's as simple as that. It's free. It's easy to do. And the important thing here is that you can get that email. Step one when you're authorizing any emails is just to click, I authorize RTV to send emails on my behalf. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and voila. Oh, look at that. Hey, the other one's finished too. That was easy. That was real easy. 6 out of 6. Super happy. And so now that I have info@bluelavamedia.com where all my main emails are coming from, I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to reports and click save. And now I'm good to go. So that's great. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Anything that I missed? It's silent. That means I did a great job. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your business, your trust, and your support. And if you have any questions, feel free to give our support center a call or click the question mark down in the bottom right. We're here to help walk you through this. It really is easy. And those of you that are doing a hot sheet over on Aweber, please note, folks, you're going to have to do this on Aweber too. All of the email senders are doing this right now, and I'll tell you, if you're gonna need to do the same things. For example, Aweber, they have a little notice right up here when you log in, so you're gonna want to do this as well over there. Step-by-step instructions are here. It's pretty much the same thing. They just have their own little set of records, so you'll enter their records in, and then they have a little verifier as well. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you so much. Jake and Chad and Eric, thank you guys. Everybody, have a great day.